We are talking about why manifesting doesn't work for some people. So it's interesting about manifesting because one, it's a very in vogue word right now, right? Everybody's talking about manifesting. I'm going to manifest the fuck out of this, or I'm going to manifest more money, or I'm going to manifest a boyfriend, or I'm going to manifest a lifestyle. I'm going to manifest a vacation. And then they're very disappointed when it doesn't come true. Or once upon a time, everybody read that book, The Secret by Oprah. And soon enough, the Walmarts and Walgreens were sold out of poster board and glue sticks because everybody had decided they needed to create a vision board. And that vision board was going to help them manifest piles of cash and swimming pools and Lamborghinis. And then again, they were so fucking disappointed that it manifested nothing at all, in fact. And that's the thing about manifesting, is that most of the time people are quite disappointed because they put a dream board, not a vision board, a dream board together. And it went off like, well, nothing happened. So here's why manifesting doesn't work for some people and why it works for others, is this one key phrase: believe. You have to believe in it. So here's the truth. Here's the ugly, disappointing truth. And again, I'll use The Secret as a reference. Now, there are a million books you guys can go reference, by the way. You can go read Law of Attraction. You could read some books by Tasha Silvers. You can read The Secret. They're all the same. They're all going to tell you the same exact thing about manifesting. But I'm going to break it down in a really short video here for you. The reason it doesn't work is because you don't believe in it. And here's what I want to get really clear, is there's the I want and the I don't want. And here's the difference between the two. You know, unequivocally, without a shadow of a doubt, without fear, without doubt, without shame, without comparison, without any of the mental mindset work that needs to go into it, you know, without a doubt, what you don't want. And therefore, you have total believability around what you don't want. You don't want a zit. You don't want a cold. You don't want a car accident. You don't want an ugly boyfriend to lick your face. You don't want somebody to treat you badly. You don't want to get ripped off at the supermarket. You don't want the shittiest parking spot. You don't want to stand in line at the concert at the concession stand. You don't want to have to pay more than what's said on the thing. You don't want to get fucked over by your friends. You don't want a lot of shit. And isn't it interesting that all the things you don't want often arrive very easily and naturally, and a little too frequently if you're honest, maybe. If you're honest, things come really naturally and easily in the don't want category. But you curiously might be wondering, like, why am I not manifesting the things I do want? Why is that not working out so well? So let me tell you a little secret. So when I first read that book, The Secret, watched the movie. If I'm honest, I never read the book. I watched the stupid movie. But when I first watched it, I was very new to spiritualism. I was very new to what was happening in the world. And I was very new to sort of this idea in this arena. And I was reading it and I thought, you know, the vision board dude who makes a vision board and has a house on it, and years later he gets the house. No, the part that he didn't explain was it was years motherfucking later that he gets this dream house that he put on a vision board 1,000 years ago. There's a lot of pieces that he forgot to share with the audience. And then there's another person who talks about parking spaces and how they're really great at parking spaces and that they can manifest the heck out of a front row parking. So out of all of those things that were discussed on this film, The Secret, the guy who manifests the house that's on the tiny corner of his vision board that he made 16 years ago, that it ended up in a closet, and the girl who got the parking spots, is two things. One, a parking spot you can manifest today, and you can see it happen in that moment. It is an insta reward. So it's very fucking believable. And then you can manifest more of that believability, because it's really easy to say, I'm a great goddamn parker and I always get front row parking. And usually our brain only has to see it like 1 or 2 or 3 times to truly believe it. To truly believe it. Now, the gentleman who put the house in the baby corner of his vision board, what happened over the course of those years, and let's say it's 16 years that he put this mansion on his vision board, was that a couple things happened. One, he was consistently making these vision boards. So he was consistently creating energy with which he wanted. And over the course of the year, he was not attached to it. He was not staring at it potentially every day going, I want that house, and if I don't get the house, I'm a goddamn failure. I want that house, and if I don't get that house, it turns out I'm not a manifester. He put the house on the vision board as an opportunity for his spirit to kind of go, okay, that is possible. This house is a possibility. This house is my motivation for continuing on this hard work path that I've decided on. And 16 years later, by coincidence, I don't really believe in coincidence, but by the power of manifesting, by the power of believing, by the power of growing a muscle of belief, he had gone from probably an apartment to a house, to maybe a bigger house, and his energy continued to grow. His belief system continued to grow. That he could have whatever he wanted kept growing, because the disbelief was here, okay? The disbelief was started in the apartment complex. When he made his first vision board, he was probably just in an apartment complex, and he decided that he was gonna have a mansion someday. It was way over here, totally off the mark, totally far off the road, and he couldn't really see how he was gonna go from an apartment to a mansion. That's all of us. And so that we're clear, that's all of us. So if you are going to visualize for your business a really big deal idea, I'm going to be a famous speaker. I'm going to be a famous author. I'm going to change the world with my product. I'm going to make it on stage with so-and-so, or I'm going to do these big deal things. I want to make $1 million. Let's just say that one as well. Some of us are motivated by impact. Some of us are motivated by recognition. Some of us are motivated by money. And I don't really frankly care which one it is, but you are fucking motivated by something. Okay. So if you want $1 million, if you want to impact 100,000 people or 1 million people, yay. If you want to have notoriety and a line of people standing there waiting to get your autograph, great. I don't care what motivates you. What matters here is that big picture motivator that gets you out of bed every day, that has you rising to your purpose and passion in your life, to your business or to your leadership role or to whatever it is that you've said yes to, that big, beautiful vision that is there, that end game goal that you might have. The reason it's not manifested overnight is because the arc of your character has not been completed. Because the believability is still maybe in an apartment complex. It might still only be $30,000 a year. Your believability may only be able to stretch to like 10 people a week of impact versus 100 people a week of impact. Now you have to decide that you want more to get more, for sure. But as you're going to learn in this module, you're also going to learn that you have to get really okay and grateful with what you currently have, so that you're not constantly staring at the mansion that you're trying to build, okay? You don't want to get caught up in the fact that you only have an apartment either, and that things aren't great and they're not working fast enough for you because you decided you wanted a mansion and you live in an apartment and it's just not going the way you want to. Because what you guys are trying to manifest isn't a parking spot. It's not a parking spot. That's easy. You can manifest a parking spot tomorrow like a motherfucker. And the thing is again, your brain's going to believe it. And here's where we're building out that bulletproof mindset that I brought up in stage 3. The reason you work every day in gratitude and the reason every day you reward yourself by writing down your achievements every single fucking day, guys, is so that your brain can believe the parking spot theory. Your ego is part of the dynamic that is manifesting. Manifesting requires your intuition and your ego. Your intuition is the architect. The ego is the action that you take to get yourself there. You have to have both in this space. You have to have both. It's like your intuition can manifest the parking spot, but you still have to drive the car and put it in there. Ego still has to figure out how to parallel into that bitch. Does that make sense? So when you're building out your manifestation, when you're building out your dreams, when you are creating the avenue with which you want to work, there's more than one goal. There's the big, giant, fucking monstrosity that is the mansion over here. Fucking mansion with a fucking swimming pool and a Lamborghini and a pile of cash right here. 100 million people impacted by what you brought into the world. Recognition, dollar signs, impact galore, mansion. But you're in the apartment right now. Right now in your business, you're in the maybe a one bedroom. You might be awesome and have already gotten yourself a 2-bedroom apartment. I don't know. But right now you're in an apartment. This big picture is important, but you have to do the daily believable work that is going to help you continue to see and thrive from this point to this point. Does this make sense? Is this resonating with you? Do you feel that? Okay? This is what makes and breaks manifesting. This is why manifesting doesn't work for most people, because they don't fucking believe it. And it takes time. It just takes time to believe it. It takes time to prove to yourself that this works. Now, I had the great opportunity of meeting a woman who is a neuroscientist and therapist. Neuroscientist and therapist. Can you imagine how awesome it would be to have her brain, right? So she speaks the neurofrequencies of the brain, and then she uses this in her therapeutic studies with humans on one-to-one level. And she said that her belief of manifestation is this, that essentially what you're doing is like an Easter egg hunt for your brain. So you are saying, brain, I want $1 million. And if every day you say, brain, I want $1 million, then every day brain goes out looking for $1 million. And brain will eventually find its way to $1 million. Now, this is the vision board sort of idea. Again, is like you see the picture of the mansion, or you see the picture of the crowd of people, or you see the picture of all the people you've impacted, or you see the picture that's piles of money. And your brain is going to go on a treasure hunt. It's going to go on the Easter egg hunt to find what it is that you're looking for. Isn't that so fucking cool? To me, this is such a fucking cool dealio with manifesting. But here's where it comes into the spiritual aspect, and here's the differential. So that's the science aspect, is that the brain's going to go looking for it. But here's where I say that still doesn't totally nail it. And here's why. Especially if you're going for the big shit. Now, if you're to give your brain a bone, a tiny bone, again, a parking spot, or you want to see 11 yellow cars that day, your brain's going to do that work. It's going to go, oh, I can find 11 yellow cars easily today. I can find free parking spots all over town today. Your brain can do that. Your ego can even handle that because it's very short-lived and it doesn't have as much runway to fuck you up. because that's really what stops manifesting is your fucking ego. Your ego is the one that's like, I don't see any fucking proof. I don't believe it. This is bullshit. It's taken too fucking long. You signed up for something stupid. And then your imposter syndrome comes in and says, well, you are clearly not an expert. You're really fucked up and you shouldn't be the one to deliver this message because you should already be in the mansion. Okay. Do you understand what I'm saying? So your brain is going to look for it. That's like the number one thing. But this is where the mindset comes in. And this is where the intuition aspect of it comes in. This is where you have to build the believability is every fucking day. Every day reading your mission statement. Every single day read your mission statement out loud into yourself. Read your mission statement so that your brain and your ego can get on fucking board. Your intuition already knows what's happening, but your ego is going to totally sabotage you. Your ego is going to stop you from getting there and say, it's taking too long to get to the mansion and we should probably choose another route. We're going to choose another way to get there. This is horseshit and I don't want to do it. So then when you're done reading your mission statement out loud, you go to your mindset, your bulletproof mindset, and you write down, I am so fucking grateful for all the amazing things that you are doing right now. For like all the things that exist. So if you're in an apartment right now and you're trying to get to a mansion, it's this or something better. So this is amazing. I'm in a 2-bedroom apartment and I love my life and I'm so lucky I have a roof over my head and I'm grateful that I have a second bedroom and I'm so fucking pumped I have furniture on the ground and god damn it, I'm so grateful I have smoothies and oh my gosh, I'm able to walk to my job. Whatever it is that you are grateful for, you write it every day. Because that energy of abundance gets created. And then you become a master attractor for more awesome things, okay? And then at the end of every single day, again, you are writing down what you are accomplishing to the ego. Good job, fucking ego. Way to check off that list of things that you are amazing and awesome at. You are the best at what you do because you accomplished all this shit. Instead of sitting in shame and disappointment of like, oh my God, I didn't do enough today. I'm still not at the mansion. I haven't made it. I'm such a loser. This is not working. I'm not a master manifester at all. This is why manifestation works for the people who work it and why manifesting doesn't work for the rest of the peeps. You have to build your believability every motherfucking day. So when you guys get through with this module, you will have learned believability. You will have experienced what it feels like to create believability and manifestation. What you are worth is going to come true in this space. So that you can see very clearly that everything is manifestable. And then last, you're going to have this amazing blueprint that you are creating by being the channel of intuition that you already are. You are going to intuitively channel the rest of your business plan in. So that you might find and feel that you have more to give, more impact, and that maybe you get that terrific download that says, hey, you are here for big motherfucking shit. Do it. Do it. So that is where I want to leave this right now, is just get to these next module or the next phases in this module. Don't leave anything off the list here. Make sure you are doing the meditations. Make sure you are doing the movements in this space. If you aren't dancing, singing, and jumping up and down by the end of this week, oh my gosh, guys, you're missing out. This is where everything comes together, and it is a big motherfucking module. And I know it's a big motherfucking module because you wanted to go big. You decided you wanted more. And in this section, you are getting more. Okay, you guys, peace in. Keep going.